Big-time snaps for Cordell Volson. Mike Petraglia inside MetLife Stadium. We're here on Sunday night. The Bengals lose 25-22 in their preseason game number 2 to the New York Giants. But the big story, Cordell Volson. He looked very strong throughout the game. He played the entire game at left guard. And if you ask me, I think there's a very good chance he has become the front runner for the starting left guard position come September 11th against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cordell Volson after the game saying he appreciated the opportunity to play every single snap in this game, and ironically, the official NFL playbook will rule him as having the false start on the final offensive series as the Bengals drove to the Giants' 43-yard line, but it was Jake Browning moving his feet, as replays showed, and then Cordell Volson jumped and causing the false start, moving the ball back to the 48-yard line. The Bengals tried to complete a pass, Jake Browning did, to Trenton Irwin, but Irwin fumbled the ball away, and the Giants recovered, and the clock ran out. Otherwise, Zach Taylor, after the game, said that would have been a great opportunity to see Evan McPherson kick a game-tying 61-yard field goal, but that was not to be the case. Story of the night for the Bengals offense, too many mistakes. Cordell Volson, he did play well throughout the entire game, but too many holdings. Specifically, Deontay Smith, the second-year player, coming back from a back injury. He looked rusty in the first quarter, committing not one, not two, but 3 holding penalties. The third one was declined by the Giants, but it looked sloppy out there for most of the first half. One big reason the Bengals were 0 for 6 on third down conversions in the first half. They had to settle for 3 Evan McPherson field goals. He did kick another 50-yarder, but he missed in part because Cal Adamitis, the backup long snapper to Clark Harris, a bit high with his snap to Kevin Huber, and the 58-yard field goal attempt in the third quarter went wide left for Evan McPherson. His first miss of the preseason. He is now 6 for 7, but again, we didn't get a chance to see a 61-yarder to tie the game because of mistakes at the end of the game. Bengals had a chance in the first half to really put a lot of pressure on the Giants, put a lot of points on the board, but Brandon Allen struggled, and he admitted after the game when I asked him about, what was the difference between the first drive and the second half when the Bengals marched right down the field and capped it off with a Travion Williams 1-yard touchdown run. What was the difference between that and the 2 times the Bengals had the ball to start drives inside the Giants' 25-yard line? Each time they had to settle for field goals. Allen was just 1 for 5 passing for -2 yards in those 2 different series. So that has got to be something that the Bengals, whether it's Joe Burrow, Brandon Allen, Jake Browning, they have got to improve in terms of their offensive execution. No question about that. Drew Chrisman got all of the punting duties here on Sunday night, and he looked good. He would have liked to have had better hang time, he admitted after tonight's game. He had a 56-yarder, but it was a low line drive. It led to a 17-yard return, and that, as he said after the game, was not what Darren Simmons is looking for. Chrisman is looking for that hand of the return man to go up in the air almost immediately, signifying that the ball's too high to be returned, and that's really the object of a good veteran punter. So Drew Chrisman, he did have a good punting night in terms of the gross average, which was around 47 yards, but he would like to work more on his hang time. He also had a 51-yarder that was caught at the 9-yard line, returned to the 20, but again, Chrisman looking for better hang time to improve the Bengals' punting game and really make a run at that punting job that right now has been held by Kevin Huber since 2009. The Bengals, in terms of injuries, they did not have the nightmarish night that the Giants did, but they still had 2 injuries that bear monitoring in this game, including the right guard Lamont Galliard coming out of the game with a calf injury. So he is day-to-day, and Zach Taylor said he'll know more as the week begins. The Bengals now have the next 2 days off before they begin joint practices with the Los Angeles Rams on Wednesday outside Paycor Stadium. Wednesday and Thursday, they'll have a walkthrough as normal on Friday, and the final preseason game next Sunday at 6 p.m. at Paycor Stadium with the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Final again inside MetLife Stadium, the Giants 25, the Bengals 22. For all of the coverage all season long, be sure to click on clnsmedia.com. Check me out on Twitter at Trags, Trags. And of course, click on that link below and subscribe to the Jungle Roar podcast page on YouTube. We want to hear your comments, good, bad, and indifferent, about your Cincinnati Bengals. Inside MetLife Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.